Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. I want to focus in a little bit more in depth on these psychopathic relationship manipulation tactics that are used. And so you can identify these and furthermore protect yourself and let go of the psychopath. The psychopath is an individual who possesses a high degree of charm and manipulation ability over others. And the manipulation is to put others at ease in essentially violation of their boundaries, their own instinct, their own moral compass, their own values, in order to seduce and violate them so that they can overpower to get what they want. And it's a very calculated approach to the identification of their target or their prey. The psychopath is known as an intraspecies predator by Dr. Robert Hare, a forefront psychologist who has studied and identified the Hare checklist, which lists 20 traits of the psychopath individual. And namely, the main characteristics are they have a high degree of charm, very superficial. And so superficial meaning they tend to compliment others and have a very sort of glib, superficial, emotional quality to them. And they overpower others in a sort of a dominion stance, meaning that they want to have power over others. And they do this through their communication, their verbal stance, their body language, and oftentimes play a lot of mind games to manipulate and control others. And it's done in a calculated way where they're going to identify an individual who they are targeting and sussing out. Sussing out meaning kind of sorting away from the crowd, identifying this individual generally who has the capabilities to be highly empathic or possessing of a lot of the qualities, the emotional qualities, which the psychopath does not have. Now, the psychopath is completely devoid of a sense of empathy. And so for to be devoid of empathy basically means they do not have the ability to relate to, understand the feelings, needs, wishes of another. So they cannot feel another's pain. They cannot feel another's joy. They witness it completely from the outside. They're very disconnected from others. Studies have been shown that when a psychopath is witnessing an event that most people would have a guttural reaction to, the psychopath will just kind of stand and observe. So they have a very discrete ability to just be very disconnected. They do not possess the wide range of human emotions. They do not really experience the feeling of love. They do not experience the feelings of fear. They just witness these in others. So they find it very interesting, and they really don't connect to music in the same way. They do not connect in a heart-to-heart relationship with people in the same way. They seek to overpower. It's by virtue of their physiology, so it's based in their hard wiring of their brain and the way their brain is wired. They have a excess of dopamine, and then coupled with very inactive centers that relate to morality and conscience, and oftentimes a high level of testosterone. So it makes them very focused on reward-seeking behaviors, pleasure-seeking behaviors, but they're very prone to boredom. So they have a high need for stimulation. And so they will create then a mask and that they will then present to others of a seeming type of individual. So the mask of an employee, the mask of a partner, the mask of a husband, the mask of a wife, the mask of this intellect, or whatever. If they're a professor, they tend to put on this mask or this persona, but underneath there's a very, very deep predatory nature. And if you've ever seen the mask drop and you've been in the presence of this individual, you know that this is not a normal person. This person there's a chilling energy that emanates off of them. And this is the predator. This is the individual which will really stop at nothing to get after what they want. So stealing, theft, violation of people's marital vows, going after, it's just, the sky is the limit. Whatever it is the psychopath wants, and it is up to, it is within each individual, but chances are it is to overpower, and oftentimes they take a lot of pleasure, and through their calculating mechanisms, they really take a sort of pleasure and reward from fooling others. Fooling others, meaning like pulling one over on people. That's just is how they take delight. So most people would not feel good about that. They have a sense of morality. They have a sense of inner integrity. I mean, they don't want, that's not an individual's drive. In fact, most people exist to self-improve so that they're really in that pure heart, in that pure mind, that pure alignment state. Most good people, I would say, have a tendency to want to self-improve, improve their abilities, their connection to others, their connection to their God source, to get more of a pure life, it's an emotional drive. It's a personal relationship with life. The psychopath does not engage in this. In fact, if the psychopath is engaging in religious, it is for show only. It is to connect with others, to be a seemingly religious, and it's not a genuine connection for them. So the emotional repertoire of them is very, very limited. The psychopath will exhibit psychopathic rage. Basically, if you are trying to, put some guidelines and boundaries on the relationship, and they are not going to have that because they're not able, they're going to lash out. So you might get this psychopathic rage where then you have a fight and a spat, and it gets very, there's a lot of conflict. And then, 30 minutes later, it's like nothing even happened. They have no connection. They have a very disconnected emotional relationship to people and events. And oftentimes you will not hear about their past. You will not hear about their family. They will not have pictures. They don't seem to have a connection to a past. So very disconnected to, I'm just going to say, humanity or relationships. They don't have, there's no connection there. So if they were divorced, they have no connection. It's just like, this person was here for my life, and that's just, they're gone now, and that's all it is. So they move between relationships very frequently and very adeptly. And they will modify a mask for each individual. So if they're going after somebody who is of a specific character or of a specific personality, they will then put on the mask for that setting. So if someone is, for example, a Greenpeace, or someone with a lot of interest in the environment, they will all of a sudden become this environmentalist and be able to speak, after doing a little bit of research, speak on different topics that this person is interested in, change their demeanor, change their language, all of a sudden metamorphosize into this environmental person. And then right around, they'll be able to flip masks, almost like a multiple personality, and become, the bad boy or the bad girl for this other person. And they'll be riding motorcycles or wearing chains and leather, and, be this totally different person. And then, they might turn around and be all of a sudden a professional. And it's just like, it's not the same person. It's very, very odd, but they do tend to metamorphosize this mask into whatever it is they are looking to manipulate. So, and they are very well aware of this. And so when someone has entered into a relationship, it is very calculated. Calculated meaning they're going to take the relationship only so far, and then the quote-unquote other person is like, well, this is love, or, they'll have led them down the path of feeling like, we're going to get married, or you and I are soulmates, or it's you and I against the world, or you and I in business, and they'll completely deceive this other person. And if you have specific examples, you want to share that, you can go ahead and use this in the comments section to share your specific situations, because it is absolutely mind-boggling and mind-blowing the degree to which they hurt people and lie pathologically. So one of the other real true traits is their ability to pathologically lie really to others. And they do this on a daily basis, 24/7. So, and they do it with the greatest of ease. You will never, ever, in fact, a lot of them do even tend to fail the polygraph, the lie detector test, because they have such a physiology to lie that they just can oftentimes lie undetected, which makes them really lethal, evil, and destructive. So if this type of individual, if you find yourself in a relationship, you absolutely need to go no contact with them, get everything out of your environment that relates to them, and furthermore, it's going to take a lot of mental strength and fortitude to recover from the gaslighting, the brainwashing, the fear, the trauma bonding that this individual has placed in your life. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.